Hold on.
Intuitive.
We're doubling up over here. Let me see what's going on. We doubling up. Alright, we good? Nope. Nope. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I don't know what's going on. I got an echo, but we gonna work it out. Alright, let's go. How can I help? My girlfriend wants to get married. Do you mean tenure? Yeah, tenure. My girlfriend wants to get tenure. What do I do? Okay, let's check your secretary account. Looks like you guys have been together for 2 years. She has over 9,000 marriage credits. At this pace, she's only 2 months away from a proposal, so she just might be right. But I'm not ready. Okay, let me see what I can do. Maybe we can find some deductions to buy you some time. Have you had any bad arguments, domestic violence, or infidelity? Nah. Has she slept with your best friend or have an OnlyFans account? Does she have a secret bank account? Nah, none of that, but she did complain on my Instagram too much, and she never knows what she wants to eat. That's just regular toddlering, sir. I may be able to deduct 20 points based on the peace of mind protocols, but that would only buy you a week. You might have found you a good secretary, sir. Okay. But I'm scared. No worries. We'll be with you every step of the way with premarital counseling, marriage ceremonies, biannual marriage reviews, and estate planning. And you can always review your marriage secretary. You're right. So I guess we're getting married. Oh snap! We getting married. Yo, I think we got it. All right, let's start the show.
Welcome to the Daycare. Welcome to the Daycare. Welcome to the Daycare. Welcome to the Daycare. Stay away from cities with dyke mayors. They spray the pipes major. Don't play with your life, player. Or shake the dice, player. But if you got a quota, then stay away from toddlers. These bitches are fight promoters. Welcome to the Daycare. Welcome to the Daycare. Welcome to the Daycare. Welcome to the Daycare. Train your toddler. Please train your toddler. Whippings, timeouts, take her allowance. Cause on what she will destroy your life if you allow it. Fucking, I'm tired of rapping. Yo, low, bring in the choir. Welcome to the Daycare. Welcome to the Daycare. Welcome to the Daycare. Welcome to the Daycare.
Niggas need to stop giving these bitches all the attention. That's why niggas is dying now. When these hoes get horny, niggas die. Hoes get horny, niggas die. Watch, every die. We gotta start saying fuck these bitches, man. If you fucking with a cool female, that's all good. But if you fucking with a bitch, you need to break her ass and shake her ass.
Break her and shake her. Welcome to the Dirty Folks Daycare. I am your tolerologist, Dirty Folks. I appreciate y'all being here. In the daycare zone is the class clown. Now what's poppin', peoples? Alright, so check this out, man. I've been getting a few inboxes from a few. Let me rerun. There's a lot of different factions of Tawny and swarthy men who know things aren't right and they want to right the ship. And I appreciate that, right? I appreciate that. But they don't take things to its logical conclusion because they keep trying to include toddlers, right? Black men have never really felt like men. So all they really want is tolerable toddlers. That's all. They just want toddlers who don't disrespect them in public and make them look bad to the world. But they don't want power. They don't really want submission because submission takes force, either physical, psychological, economic, or it has to take force. You have to make a person tap out. So since they don't want submission, they really don't want leadership, to be honest with you. They just want to feel like men without doing the things that's required to use the overwhelming force for people not to, for Sukiana not to go in England and say she need her coochie scratched, right? She needs to know that there's a penalty. Well, not Sukiana, she gone, but I'm just saying in general. People have to know that, man, for every freedom there's a penalty. See, the difference between men and women is how they perceive freedom. Men perceive freedom as the right to life, liberty, and to pursue happiness. And there's nothing wrong with that. Women see freedom for what freedom truly is. What freedom truly is anarchy. Because true freedom means no rules. No rules means anarchy. That's why blacks, all the blacks, are anarchists. They're communists. They're socialists. They're globalists. You know why? Because black is for women, gays, and felons, and the niggas that worship women and gays. If you scared to talk against a gay and you not gay, then that's some black shit. If you want to listen to a bitch with clothes on, that's some black shit. If you're a felon, that's some American shit, because all America was a jail colony. But they always want, oh, we get our girls to act right, and if we do it, the girls going to break it up. Even when they make the initial things, they think about money and how to try to get women to like them. And that'll never work, because women don't like themselves. How the fuck they going to like you? That shit makes no fucking sense. How you going to... You already love a creature that doesn't love themselves. You already want to get a approval from a bitch who only wants to get attention. Y'all got life fucked up already to the point that when men say some man shit, y'all think it's some mean shit. But today I'm going to get you there. Today we're going to talk about the pink chair. One of the homies, they hit me, they said, man, it's over. That's all they keep saying, this gloom and doom. And I see why they say it. They say it's over. It's over for America. We the toilet bowl, man. It's the fall of Rome. And I'm like, nah, there's a lane here. If they're creating a lane for chaos, then there's a lane for order. You just have to market the order the same way they market the chaos, right? The fact that you can say a Karen from a Becky, but you can't say the black version of a Becky, mean there's a lane to create a lane of Beckys, right? If that's what you want to do, if you want the black Beckys, there's a lane for that. There is a lane for everything. If there is a need, that means that somebody needs someone to supply that need. So, pink chairs, that is the solution to the need for y'all guys. It don't matter what girls want, but I'm going to tell you how to work this number, right? For those who took your secretary course, we breaking down the chapter, Love is Not Required to Hire. I want to show you guys a video. We showed this the other day, but this is, I need you guys to understand that every woman has an internal term limit. Let me repeat that. Every woman has an internal term limit. Every woman can only be with the same man for three days, 3 months, 3 years. Every woman has a term limit. If your grandparents have been married 30 years, they probably been sleeping in a separate bedroom for 17 of them. You know what I'm saying? Every woman has an internal term limit. They don't even know what it is because term limits require counting and girls can't count. But they all have an internal term limit. So to use this as an example, let's check out this 3 times before 30 years old married woman here.
Oh, we're comparing stats. Baby girl doesn't know that I am Tom Brady at this game. Married at 18, divorced at 21. Second marriage, married at 25, divorced at 28. Third engagement, engaged at 29, ended it at 30, but I kept the ring. I'm still keeping Tom Brady on his toes. We should not be afraid to leave these men. We are not stuck with these people.
Let's stop right there. Married at 18, divorced at 21. 3-year term limit. Married at 25, divorced at 28. 3-year term limit. Engaged at 29, called off the engagement at 30, but still quote unquote keeping on their toes because he still has 2 years to go off this bullshit. So she's not going to have a 3-year marriage there. She's going to have a 3-year relationship. But all of her relationships will be 3 years. Because that is what she is. It doesn't matter who she is. That is what she is. She is not the only woman I know who has a 3-year term limit on her relationships. She's not the only one. As a matter of fact, most marriages end between the first, 50% of marriages end within 2 years. 70% within 7 years. If you pass the 7-year mark, you might be all right. Unless you got a prenup and she just waiting it out like a grizzled vet. You know what I'm saying? Unless you like Michael Jordan and you got a 10-year prenup, so she can't really max out until the 11th year. So that is how women's mind is structured. I'm going to tell y'all something. You love women. Women don't love you. It's not even required for her to love you, really. It's just required for her to respect you. But because you love women and people see each other as a possession, to be honest with you. But only men kill and die for their possessions. My house, my car, my team. Like motherfuckers have a whole fight in the stadium over their team. Men take real ownership of the things that they have an emotional connection to. What I'm about to prove to you guys today, and what the whole Marry Your Secretary is about, is it is never your woman. It's just your chair, baby. It is your motherfucking chair. It don't matter who's sitting in that chair. Love the chair. And love whoever's sitting in that chair until they decide that their term is over, right? If she wants to stay, because men don't really dump women. Women dump men. So if she wants to stay, she'll stay in the chair. If she doesn't want to stay, it's other motherfuckers to fill the chair. As a matter of fact, if you play your cards right, you can make her train her own replacement, like every other person in corporate America. I'm about to show you guys how. I'm about to show you guys some shit. Because y'all another word for term limit is tenure, right? Tenure is normally used for educators. But they can't monopolize no motherfucking word. People can use words all the time. I can't tell you how many definitions I know for the word hot, the word cool, the word ratchet. It's about 5 definitions for ratchet. When I was a kid, it was a tool. Now it's a gun, it's a girl, all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Gun has how many definitions? It's a stick, it's a gun, it's a banger, it's a ratchet. Like we people reclassify words all the time. So today we're gonna reclassify tenure. Let's check out this video. Toddler tales are crazy stories that could only happen to me. My bad, wrong button. Let's check out this.
Hi, my name is Laura, and today I'm going to talk to you about what is tenure. A tenured professor is a professor who actually holds a professorship in the university, who is not an assistant professor, who is not an adjunct professor or part-time professor, but one who has actually been hired by the university for a long-time position. This is obviously something that is coveted by everyone.
Let's bring that back. Let's exchange professor for you. Because when you marry your secretary, you the management, you are upper management of your life. And you must manage your life the same way you manage your career, you manage your time. You know what I'm saying? You allocate, you know what I'm saying, who gonna be in your 5 circle of friends. You manage your toddler, you train your goddamn toddler. I want you guys to really get the understanding of what she's saying, because she's saying some real shit.
Professor is a professor who actually holds a professorship in the university, who is not.
It is a secretary who holds an executive secretary position in your life. But in your particular case, the administration or the university, whatever you want to call it, is the goddamn chair. It is the person who holds the chair.
Not an assistant professor, who is not an adjunct professor or part-time professor.
It's not a girl you hollering at. It's not your baby mama. It's not your girlfriend. It's not the girl you kind of like because y'all been together for 3 years and she keep asking, where's this relationship going? Tenure is the person. Tenure is like marriage. Tenure is marriage because women marry their job, nigga, and you they boss. Tenure in marriage is synonymous. Let's explore how you get tenure.
To get tenure is something else. Getting tenure requires many years of research and applied study in your field, gathering things together, being very organized. If you want to be a tenured professor, you pretty much just have to be organized, period. You have to get everything together.
Okay, now she just went whole toddler with clothes on. She just went full toddler with clothes on. Do you have to be, because her whole thing is be organized, because girls love to multitask so they can do 5 things wrong at one time. But to be tenured means that you have to have X amount of hours and X amount of credentials in order to become a permanent resident. That's what tenure is. Fuck she talking about. But that's what tenure is. Anywhere between 5 to 7 years of full-time activity doing the tasks and duties ahead of you. For those who know, you already know, that's the same amount of time it takes to master a craft, 5 to 7 years. It is 10,000 hours of expertise. That's 10,000 hours of frying chicken, cleaning the crib, and sucking dick, right? And it's quantified based on the reports, because we're gonna put corporate in your life. Put corporate in your relationship, man. You shouldn't be in a relationship by yourself, because she ain't in a relationship by herself. She in a relationship with her family, her friends, the fucking simping force that she gonna send at you, probably a fucking kid somewhere, goddamn it, the court system, the fucking the human resource development, because that's some fat, goofy black bitch. It's a bunch of them against you, and you loving her. Nigga, you outnumbered, my nigga. Put corporate in your life, man. Put corporate in your life. So, plus y'all got to take to marry your secretary, of course, to try it, because corporate gonna be in your life. Because I would refuse to get killed by a nigga over a bitch, and I refuse to let a bitch have a look. Anyway, as the story progresses, but we're gonna let it continue without the organization, because I told y'all what tenure is. It's 5 to 7 years, 10,000 hours. It's the same thing as being a master of a trade.
There from the very beginning of your career, because it's going to be very hard for you if you end up in a university where you are.
Yeah, she ain't talking about shit.
Toddler tales are crazy stories.
Man, I reworked my buttons, man, and now I forgot where my buttons at. My bad. Now, here's the thing. Once you vet for hire, once she's tenured, and all that is in vet for hire is in course 1, tenure is in course 2. But once you vet and you get to the point that you're thinking about giving her tenure, that's when you have to start creating your exit strategy. In the beginning, you don't start your exit strategy when she decides to leave and you trying to bring your life together because you don't know where she put your socks. You know what I'm saying? You start your exit strategy in the beginning the same way these toddlers do. So, your exit strategy in this particular case is also your incentive package. They can be one and the same in this particular case. What do I mean? When you are truly a man among men, you don't have to be the man. That's what bitches want. Bitches want you to be the man. You don't have to do all that. You just have to be the man to her. Let me explain to you how manhood works. Because a lot of y'all was raised by women, so y'all have a false understanding what men are, which is why y'all can't follow men, because y'all don't know what men are. You're born a male, right? You become a man when you can take care of yourself and your family. You become the man when you can feed other men enough for them to provide for themselves and their family. So corporate is the man, right? Where you go for employment is a man who provided opportunities to you so that you can create enough resource to take care of yourself and your family. Everybody isn't built to be a business owner, and a lot of people not built to have employees, because employees get paid first. Employees get paid before marketing. Employees get paid before you pay yourself. Employees get paid before taxes. If your business closes, you got to, man, you got to give a severance package to your employees. Everybody's not cut for that. But everybody doesn't have to be. It's good enough to be a man that can provide for himself and his family. Because we can substitute the man with the logo. The logo is a man. You work for Coca-Cola, you drive the trucks, or you work in a factory, or you know what I'm saying, you in the R&D department trying to make the new nasty ass Coke Classic. You working for the logo. You don't even think about the fact that there is a guy that sits in the black ergonomic chair at the top of the CEO. You know there is a CEO, but you don't think about that. You think I'm going to work to provide for myself and my family. All the rest of that shit ain't nothing. That's the shit that girls want you to talk about, and they don't even know who the fuck the man is. They'll call the nigga the man, and that man got a boss. He just a higher paid employee. NBA niggas, higher paid employees. Rap niggas, higher paid employees. They're independent contractors, but they depend on other people doing a job in order for them to get paid. They need the promoter to book them, as the baby done found out lately, right? You think you the man until the promoters won't book you anymore. They need a distributor to put their music out. They need stations to put their music out. They need marketing teams. They need videographers. There's a lot of different things. You be like, I'm my own man, but you couldn't even be that man without 10 other people doing what they have to do to take care of themselves and their family. So, man, y'all got to get out that mindset. I'm a man. I ain't got to listen to no man. Because everybody needs everybody. As long as it's the right body. Y'all was raised by the wrong body, so y'all don't know the difference. But this is how this shit plays out. If I tell girls, and I plan to tell girls this shit, if I tell girls, look, have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire, well, be a 10,000 there, because I ain't giving the bitch no $1,000,000. She got me fucked up. But let's say that I pay for everything that I want from a woman because she's the employee, right? Because I'm not in this shit for love. Love is not required to hire. Love is a young man's game. And that's why young men become older men that get shit and then lose shit to the girl that they married off love. But they didn't recognize she had a term limit. So when her term limit is, when you get out of college and you fresh off of ramen noodles and you get your first studio apartment and you sleeping on a futon, but you finally got that internship and you about to get a job, so you marry your girl, you don't have shit. She don't have shit. And that's fine, right? You 21, 22 years old with nothing. A little bit of freedom and a whole lot of responsibility, and that's fine. That's natural. But then 7 years go by. Now you're 28 years old. You're stable. You got your credit right. You got 2 cars and a dog, probably a baby. You know what I'm saying? And now she's past her term limit. Her term limit was gone like 3 or 4 years before you turned 28. You were 21, you married at 20. She been looking at other dicks since she was 24, 25. Now she 27 and you got a little something. And she gonna get your house, and she gonna get a car, and she gonna take your kid, right? And you sitting there confused like, yo, shorty, we were building together, but y'all were never building together. You was building, she was chilling. What's yours is hers, what's hers is hers. There's no hours with women. There's never been hours with women. Because essentially, unless they're trained, they're selfish by nature. Just intrinsically. It's not even anything negative. It's just what they are. It don't matter who they are. It's just what they are. So, you create an incentive package, right? You say to her, you say, look, we got a kid. I give you $5,000, you get pregnant. But I get custody of the kid, right? Now you don't have to worry about her stealing your baby. Which gives her a tie to you because bitches can't leave without the kid because the kid is their provision. But the trade-off is, if you leave me, you get a severance package, which you start in the beginning as an incentive, right? As an incentive, sign it off already as an incentive. It's not a prenup. It's an agreement between you and your tendered employee. And I'm assuming by this point that she's already gone through the terms in order to get tenure. And there's also a chart on the Marry Your Secretary. Like when y'all look at the little skit I do at the beginning when I say she got 9,000 tenure points, you know what I'm saying? There's a scale that actually tells you based on her duties and what she contributes when she's eligible for everything from date night to vacations to when you should propose. You know what I'm saying? Because a proposition is like, yo, you such and such amount away from tenure. Because this is what employees do. Everybody needs a structure, a guarantee. As a man, it's your job to give structure. You can't give a structure off love. Love is a feeling. And I guarantee you, 10 out of 10 times, women are better at feelings than you are. Guaranteed. So if you playing a feelings game, you in the wrong game, nigga. That's like trying to fight Freddy Krueger while you sleep. You know what I mean? So you got to go in that motherfucker already with a structure so your feelings don't matter. So even if you catch feelings, your feelings don't matter. Anyway, so one of the things you could do for that is offer a severance, right? So let's check out what a severance is.
Toddler tales are crazy stories that can.
That's crazy. I'm gonna move this shit. I messed up my timing. Bam. All right. Let's see what 10 years.
Severance pay is an amount of money that an employer is going to pay an employee when they're severed from employment.
My bad. I mean what a severance is. Let's start over.
Severance pay is an amount of money that an employer is going to pay an employee when they're severed from employment. So if an employer terminates an employee, sometimes there'll be an employee contract, and if that employee had negotiated severance pay, that's the amount of money that will have to be paid if the employer terminates. Now, sometimes if...
Let's pause right there. Let's pause right there. Every girl wants an exit package because every girl is planning on leaving you the day that she meets you, right? Every girl is planning on leaving you the day she meets you. Every girl has a ghost protocol. That's what I'm going to call it. A ghost protocol. For those who've ever been ghosted by a girl, it is the shit. It's the shit, except the confusion at the end, right? So like when a girl about to ghost you, she'll slide through your crib, give you all 3 holes, you know what I'm saying, massage your back, get the hot rag, wipe you off, you know what I'm saying, goddamn it, man, say she about to leave, give you a kiss before she at the door, like, I enjoyed myself. And then she'll block your number, you'll never see her again, right? Because she already knew before she gave you all 3 holes that she just wanted to leave that impression on your soul so that when she leave you, you fucked up. Because she want to play mind games with you. Even if it take all 3 holes to do it, she want to play mind games with you. She already had an exit strategy. She already knows she can only deal with dudes for 3 years. She already got an exit strategy. Around 2.5-year mark, she already looking for a new nigga. You know her replacement, nigga. You know her replacement. Why she's still with you? She's already making her transition plan. What I'm telling you guys is, don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Give her an incentive to leave. Pay her to leave. That's what men are supposed to do anyway. They said, man, you don't pay for sex, you pay her to leave. You know what I mean? Niggas told me that shit. I was nigga, in my 20s, nigga. I was like, yo, you right. You don't pay for the sex, you pay her to leave. So you tell her before she gets there, shorty, I already got your severance package ready. If you make it 2 years, you get 10,000. I'm gonna cash you out 10,000 if you can make it for 2 years. If you want to go past that, I give you tenure, right? Because you already know that they got a limited amount of time they could be with you, and you got to understand that around that set of time, and this is course 3 shit, we're not going to get into course 3 shit, but you start looking for who's going to sit in that chair. You already got motherfuckers training the motherfuckers that's going to sit in that chair. You know what I'm saying? Because there's never a lack of broke bitches, nigga. There's never a lack of beautiful broke bitches. There is never a time in which there's not a chick that work at KFC or Taco Bell or Home Depot. Them lazy ass bitches. I hate Home Depot bitches, man. It's just a peeve, bro. I hate these bitches. Some lazy ass CNA, you know what I'm saying? There's never a lack of broke bitches that look good in polyester pants, man. God bless America. And all they looking for is a nigga to be their come up. Because no matter how much they say you ain't shit, they less shit than you because they can't do shit without you. They got an OnlyFans. They got a thirst trap on IG. They got man, get some of your taxpayer money because all of their jobs are paid for by the state. All the motherfuckers, teachers paid by the state. CNAs paid by the state. RNs paid by the state. Goddamn it, man. Or insurance. And insurance is, you know what I'm saying? You can't refuse Obamacare or Blue Cross Blue Shield. All that shit is co-paid by the government. So that's tax money. Everything they do is a tax-based job. You rarely see women with a job in the private sector. Very rarely. 70% of women have taxpayer jobs. Home daycare. They're getting babysitter checks. Where the babysitter checks come from? The state. All the shit that girls do to get guap, they either directly or indirectly need your money to do it. All these bitches are one balanced tax reform bill away from being homeless, nigga. Like 7 out of 10 of them. 7 out of 10 of them is one tax reform bill from being homeless. They always need you directly or indirectly for a hookup. Because they can't survive without you. So if they say you ain't shit, they less shit than you. They cute. Remember the movie Juice? When goddamn it, Tupac was like, nigga, I ain't shit. But you less a man than me. So when I say you ain't shit, bang. That's them. They cute in this situation. But y'all don't see it because y'all think they equal, which means you think they better because you got to bend down to be out of eye with a goofy ass toddler. You have to be less of a man to be equal with a bitch. What are girls really better than you at? They not smarter than you. They test better than you because tests are based on memory, and women remember all type of dumbass shit. But they don't know how to do it. They can't apply shit. They just got good memories about dumb shit. They can't outrun, jump, think you. They can't outcook you. They can't outshit you. They can't out nothing you. They can't outfuck you. You know why they can't outfuck you? Because if you really thought about it, when you fucking, you doing all the work. These bitches barely ride a dick right. Half these bitches scooting on their knees and shit. They won't. It's like 2 girls on earth, nigga, that use her tiptoes, nigga, and you pussy whipped off them. D-Rock say they better at deception. I would agree with you, but that would mean that I would have to listen to them with clothes on, and I don't listen to them with clothes on, so I don't even see a deception. They better fight promoters, though. Tyler's are way better fight promoters than Don King, nigga. Daycare promoter fight better than nigga. They way better fight promoters. I give you that. Let's continue.
Their termination is for good cause. The contract with that employee will say no severance is due if we've been terminated for good cause, as opposed to just letting that employee go. Sometimes you'll see this if you want to recruit an employee and they're moving here from another state, they're giving up a good job. They want the assurance that if they come and work for you, that 3 months later you're not just going to fire them and then they have no money to cover them.
I need to bring that back because I need you guys to understand how slavery works. I need you guys to understand how slavery works. Because I'm going to need y'all to help me pay for the plantation, nigga. So I'm going to need you guys to understand how slavery works. Let me bring that back a little bit. Every deodorant and bar of soap that y'all get, every time y'all send a cash out. Speaking of that, like and sub as y'all come in, man. Like and sub. Send your heart, pay your daycare fees. All that goes towards slavery, baby. All that goes towards slavery. Listen to what they're saying. I need you guys to understand how people end up getting tenure.
No severance is due if we've been terminated for good cause, as opposed to just letting that employee go.
Here you go.
Sometimes you'll see this if you want to recruit an employee and they're moving here from another state, they're giving up a good job. They want the assurance that if they come and work for you, that 3 months later you're not just going to fire them and then they have no money.
Let's pause right there. I have a story. Because I might play that a third time. Because it's very important. I got a story, though. True story about power. Real power, right? Once upon a time, and I had this video up. I had to delete like 600 videos, man, for YouTube to monetize me. But I got it somewhere on some flash drive. I'm gonna have to upload all this shit on Patreon. I got like 600 videos I need to put on Patreon. Anyway, once upon a time, there was a man by the name of Charles Pullman. He was a railroad man. Charles Pullman had these luxury rail cars for highfalutin people. And he was, at that time, we're talking the 19-teens, 1920s. He was the best job a black man could get. Not the highest paying job, but the best job a black man could get during the Reconstruction era. And the reason it was the best job, not the highest paying, but the best job, is because most black men came out of slavery as tradesmen, right? So they can put a shoe on a horse, so they could fix a car. They were great at agriculture. Because when y'all take away, oh, we was the slaves, we was picking cotton. Nigga, that's agriculture. They were great at agriculture. They were great at construction. They could build a house. All the shit that y'all say Mexicans are outshining y'all at is shit that they learned from black people before the baby boomers told y'all that everything that built this nation was slave work, and goddamn it, man, you need to go to college to be more like white people. Y'all love this. Y'all, well, I ain't gonna say y'all do, but black women love to say
we built this nation.
they ain't build shit. Girls can't build, nigga. What the fuck she talking about? But all the things that build, that's what black people were doing. So the best paying jobs at that time were construction jobs. But construction is seasonal, right? So it's feast or famine. They'll be the last hired, first fired for a seasonal job. So being a Pullman porter, which is like being a waiter on a train, being a Pullman porter wasn't the most high paying job, but it was the best job because it was a consistent job. You could work 52 weeks a year. So what Charles Pullman did, and you gotta imagine how racist it was at that time too. What Charles Pullman did is, even though his rail yard was in Atlanta, because at that point Atlanta used to be a hub. It wasn't the hub, but it used to be a hub of America. When the Industrial Revolution was starting, Chicago became the hub of America, right? All the rails come through Chicago. If you want to take a flight, you got to stop at O'Hare Airport. But now they got non-stop flights. But it used to be a point in time where you can only go halfway across the nation. They'll have to stop. So that stop would be Chicago, and then you continue to the East Coast. Everything came through Chicago. Even the shipyards came to Chicago because they'll come down the St. Lawrence, what they call it, Riverway, St. Lawrence, whatever you call it, that go all the way around Maine and cut down through Michigan, and it stops in Chicago. Well, actually, it goes up to Green Bay, Wisconsin. But who the fuck want to go to Green Bay, Wisconsin? So all that shit came to Chicago. All the slaughterhouses were in Chicago. All the ice pack rail cars were in Chicago. Before they had refrigeration, they used to put ice in the rail cars to keep your chickens and your hogs and your beef from spoiling. So ice melts. So they had to come back to the Midwest was Chicago. So everything came through Chicago. What Charles Pullman decided to do was build his own town right outside Chicago, which is now part of Chicago. It's the Pullman district, but it used to be Pullman, Illinois. He had his own city. And what he did is he built housing for his employees only. He had a grocery store and he had housing for his employees only. His employees could try to start their own little side business in Pullman, but they had to be employees. It was employees only. Pullman tribed up. He was the Pullman tribe. To be perfectly honest with you, you had all the engineers, all the conductors, all the mechanics. They lived in Pullman, Illinois. And then later, because racism, later, whatever leftover smaller houses they had room to put on, they brought in the Pullman porters. And then right behind that, Pullman made a huge rail repair station. So their hub was in Atlanta, but they got their trains fixed in Chicago, basically. The incentive was, you want to be part of this clique because it's a beautiful area. It's probably still one of the most beautiful historic areas in the Chicagoland district, especially being on the south side. That's crazy. And they got a police station right in the middle of that motherfucker to keep it safe. That's crazy. Anyway, shout out to the police station on 115th in Michigan. 115, what it is. I ain't Michigan. But anyway, so the incentive is, in this particular story, we talking about secretaries. The incentive is, shorty, you broke, your mama abusive, you a foster child, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, right? You fucked up in the game. You need a head up. You need somebody to help you out. You ain't got no kid. I'm gonna tell you something, man. There's a lot of women who wouldn't have children if those children didn't provide housing. Y'all know that, right? There's a lot of women who wouldn't have children if that child didn't come with housing. and I know this for a fact because I've spoken to 7th and 8th grade girls who talk about having 2 or 3 kids by 2 or 3 men, because you know they mama a hoe, so they a hoe too, because that's how they mama did it. And they thinking they just want to get a little child support and they want to get some free housing. That is we talking 13-year-old girls who already, that's their future plan. Like, you nigga, I'm trying to give me some child support or whatever, some SSI, because you know they ain't gonna fuck a nigga with a job. I'm trying to get some SSI. I'm gonna make the kids smoke, sniff white out or drink gasoline or something so they can get a crazy check, and free housing. It's a lot of girls who wouldn't have kids if it didn't come attached with housing. A lot, especially poverty bitches. So that be part of the incentive. You know what I'm saying? Because it's your plan, nigga. It's your plantation. You create the rules for your life, man. This is your secretary. This is your shit. Like, yo, what is the terms and conditions that I want for my toddlers, right?
Mama back.
And then what incentive am I going to give my toddlers? So let's say you get this until you get tenure. Then if you get tenure, you're guaranteed a severance package. Because a lot of these bitches getting divorced, bro. They ain't getting shit in these divorces. You know what I'm saying? If you divorce a barber, you ain't making no motherfucking money. Because barbers might make $100,000 a year, but all their money is cash and carry. Motherfucking cash apps, you know what I'm saying, dollars. They don't have no payroll tax checks. You know what I'm saying? You can't judge their money. It's a lot of men that's 6-figure niggas off the books. A lot of them. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of dudes who make 6 or 7 figures and pay themselves $25,000 a year. So that's all their taxable income. And their bills be $23,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of dudes like that. So you guarantee it, like, yo, I'm gonna get it. So that's how you get them, right? Like, look, shorty, this your severance package. You know what I'm saying? If we don't work out, I give you this. If you have incentive points, if you give me a shorty, I give you this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep the shorty though. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of ways you can pluck this duck. And these are things that we discuss whenever Mineral Mitch does the goddamn marry your secretary fucking workshops. Mineral Mitch on some bullshit. Boo Mineral Mitch. Cause if I do it, I'm charging. So y'all better take this incomplete free game I get y'all on here. So let it play back one more time. The incentive is you get her out her element, away from people who would fuck up your flow. I mean, you can avoid a lot of that shit just by orphans and girls that don't have a black mother. You know what I'm saying? It really don't have to be that hard. If her mama ain't black, it really ain't got to be as hard as y'all thinking. Because I know y'all thinking black girls. Black girls are just vaginal men. Like, it's just, yeah. But back to severance pay.
Pause, as opposed to just letting that employee go. Sometimes you'll see this if you want to recruit an employee and they're moving here from another state, they're giving up a good job. They want the assurance that if they come and work for you, that 3 months later you're not just going to fire them and then they have no money to cover them during the period of time that they have to look for another job.
During the time they got to look for another dick. They ain't trying to find no job. They're trying to find another dick. To answer your question, Afro, the difference between a severance package and a prenup is that we do Tribe does corporate marriage, bro. America's a corporatocracy. Tribe does corporate marriage. So a prenup is a state-issued marriage based on the laws of that state. I don't care about state laws, nigga. I care about federal laws, because only the feds I fear. Federally, it is just it's a partnership between corporate partners, right? The corporations. And they use corporate tax laws, they use merger laws federally as the basis of marriage. So if America's a corporatocracy and marriage is a merger between two corporations, then we can use corporate law. So the difference between a prenuptial, because nuptial, let's make it easier than that. I'll make it easier than that. Mostly because I like to hear I like to hear shit talk. So let's make it easier than that. I hope it say the word. Yeah, it's gonna say the word. I love that shit. I love when they say the word, nigga. I love the word. All right, let's go. Nuptial. Say it.
Nuptial.
I don't like the way they said it. I'm gonna say it again though.
Nuptial.
Nuptials is a wedding. That is all it is. A nuptial is a wedding. A severance package, as she's explaining, is the agreement that a boss has with his secretary based on if you get tenure. Now she's not. We're combining two things. We're combining two things. That's why I started with tenure. But in her particular case, it's if you're recruiting an applicant and it doesn't work out, you offer them a severance package. What I'm telling you is they already there. So in order to get severance package, they got to make it to tenure, which in your case would be like marriage, but tenure is tenure, marriage is marriage, because we're a corporatocracy. So the severance is a uniform allotment that if they leave, the key for you is to have enough incentive for them to stay. Because I know y'all love these hoes, because y'all really don't understand just loving the chair. Just the pink chair matters. Only the chair matters. But y'all don't know that. So y'all want y'all girl to stay in that chair. Y'all want her to be in that chair. So you want to incentivize a lifestyle, a simple lifestyle, in order for her to feel comfortable being in that chair, for her to believe that life would be harder on her own than it would be in a partnership. But knowing that she has a term limit on her pussy, and that at anywhere between 6 months to 3 years, she gonna leave, right?
Mama back.
You know what they say, hope for the best, but expect the worst. That's all you doing. You hoping for the best. You hope she stays tenured, but if she don't, expect the worst. Another difference is, and this is very, very important. This is very important. Another thing is, you know what? I don't have to say it. She about to say it. You had stopped her from talking. She about to say it. This is another reason that severance is. What happened? You made me lose severance, bro. Oh, here you go. She about to say it now.
Severance can also be paid when there's a dispute or a fight over whether you should be firing someone or not, and the employee feels they've been wronged, and you pay them a severance to sort of settle the dispute with that employee.
I'm pausing right there, but she's about to say some more dope shit. Severance is if there is a dispute and you want to pay her to leave, right? But here is the thing about a dispute, because once again, corporate law, like I keep telling y'all over and over and over again, and I'm gonna try to have more positive streams and shit, but because I be frustrated because y'all don't see it, but then I said to myself, yo, do I really explain it? So I want to explain it now. When I tell y'all to put corporate in your life, I say that shit for you, bro. I say that shit for us, for Tribe. Put corporate in your life, because corporate's already in her life. When you have a dispute with your girl, right now, currently, when you have a dispute with your girl, you have to go to a judge, and the judge has to do what the judge is trained to do. Here's the thing. And you know the judge is going to work on her side, right? Because, you know, judge, I hate it, right? They just hate it. Here's the thing. There are different type of judges, and that's where you guys kind of get mixed up in the sauce, right? There are criminal judges. All they do is judge crime. Y'all familiar with that, right? There are also civil judges. All they do is judge civil suits, right? And there's a lawyer or a representative for all these things, right? There's criminal attorneys, there's civil attorneys, right? Because there's the same type of judges. And a civil attorney will run for an election to become a civil judge, right? Just to dictate who got a civil suit. Then there's a third type of judge that is not a civil or a criminal judge, even though they can send you to jail. That's not their job. And a lot of you guys have met this type of judge, because this is the judge that runs child support court. It is an arbiter, an arbiter judge. An arbiter can be anybody that both parties agree upon. You only have to go to court because you have not agreed upon an arbiter with your girl, because y'all don't do corporate law. Y'all do love.
Mama back.
Y'all do fucking love. Love ain't required to hire. But since you didn't agree on an arbiter, you got to go in front of a judge. So the judge can be the default arbiter provided to you by the state. You could have paid your own arbiter. I pay an arbiter. When you do corporate law, when you start your own little business, like legit corporation business though, not sole proprietor or nothing like that. When you really have to put those real documents together and have a board of director and trustees and who's gonna be your treasurer and your secretary and all that shit. I gotta pay for an arbiter. So that if I put the Nosha organic product in the store and I come back for my money and my money missing, and they telling me, man, goddamn it, man, somebody robbed the store. I don't give a fuck about them robbing the store, nigga. I need my money. Now we can play it a lot of different ways. You can pay me what you owe me. You can give me a police report and you can pay my deductible for insurance, right? Or I can sue you in civil court, but nobody wants to go to court. It's better for an arbiter. The arbiter's job is to find out what's fair and equitable for both sides, right? So even what she's saying, and I'm going to bring that back, what she's missing, and that's because she a girl with clothes on, right? What she's missing is the arbitration. She won't mention the arbiter. And it could just be because, she's just talking about severance pay. But she still should have mentioned the arbiter. But let's go.
Whether you should be firing someone or not.
Let's go back a little bit. Whether or not you should break up with a chick, divorce, or kick out your crib. You know what I'm saying?
When there's a dispute or a fight over whether you should be firing someone or not, and the employee feels they've been wronged, and you pay them a severance to sort of settle the dispute with that employee so that they waive their right to sue you in exchange for paying them severance money.
I ain't trying to plug they shit. So another form of but here's the thing. This is where severance marries tenure. I want to go back to the tenure because I want to show you guys. I want her to finish what she was saying, because there's a point in which actually it's in the beginning. There's a point in which people have to already know what's required of them. That's why you need to take your Marry Your Secretary course. Y'all keep moving off love. Men can love anybody, bro. Niggas can love anything. Because only men have the ability to love, and men can love multiple things and multiple times. Girls are selfish. Girls only love one thing at a time. Like and sub as y'all come in, man. Like and sub. Send your heart, pay your daycare fees. Men can love multiple things at one time, right? You can love multiple dogs, multiple kids, both parents, all four grandparents. Men can love all type of shit. Women can only love one thing at a time.
Mamata.
They can only love one child at a time, unless all the kids look alike. Like, if they love the man, they can have all the kids by one man and love the kids because they love the man, and the kids represent the man. They all kind of look like him in some sort of way. But if by any chance she has kids by multiple men, she'll only love one kid. You know what I'm saying?
Mamata.
We covered that in a bunch of videos that I had to take off the channel, but you know what I'm saying, Doughboy and Ricky, it's a million examples of girls only being able to love one of their kids, because women can only love one thing at a time. Women can substitute the love for a man with the love of a cat. Like, women just, because they love not really, their love at that point is a projection. And they can only project love on one thing, because it's not authentic love, because love comes with duty. And they don't like duty. These bitches don't like to work. When they got jobs, they don't like to work. So love being duty isn't really something that they can become accustomed to. What they have to love is the progress of the thing that they're doing for it. They have to be part of the process to the point that they like, yo,
This our plantation, boss.
that's how that works. But I want to bring this back to tenure so that you guys can understand severance. And I'm gonna just bring the beginning real quick.
Hi, my name is Laura, and today I'm going to talk to you about what is tenure. A tenured professor is a professor who actually holds a professorship in the university, who is not an assistant professor, who is not an adjunct professor or part-time professor, but one who has actually been hired by the university for a long-time position.
Did you understand how many different types of professors that she mentioned before she got to tenure? Right? Not an adjunct, not an assistant, not an intern, not a student, teacher, a person who has qualified for tenure. So once those qualifications come in, and I think she'll say it, anytime before tenure, you can be fired with no penalty until you're tenured. You can, I mean, even in relationships now, you can ghost a motherfucker, right? You know what I'm saying? It's okay to ghost a motherfucker, right? But if you marry them, you can't ghost them. You can't be married and be like, I'm about to go and get a gallon of milk, and then never come back. That's not gonna work, right? All the way until you tenure or you marry, you can ghost at any time with no penalty, right? The only difference between, and this is a big difference too, the difference between tenure and prenup is they already have tasks and duties. So when you create when you create the severance package for those that are tenured, they already know that this is a job. Their job is to fuck you, my nigga, and fried chicken and shut the fuck up when you got company. And just like any job, there's an app. We creating an app, but y'all don't really be goddamn man contributing to the channel enough, goddamn man, for me to pay this fucking $2,500 for them to make the app. But there's an app that we have the blueprints to, that will actually tally all that shit for you. Like how many secretary points they got. It'll give you write-ups, it'll give you deductions, it'll give you, think about that. Think about the fact that your girl is an hour late anytime you want to go on a date, but she won't be 6 minutes late for her employer. That's crazy.
Hell no, to the no, yeah.
Won't be 6 minutes late for them, be an hour late for you. That's just totally disrespectful. That is part of the protocol, right? And they need to know, man, you'll be penalized for that. If her goal is to get tenure, if her goal is to get a severance package, if her goal is to get an allowance, there has to be a penalty for that. There has to be a deduction for that. If you leave work an hour early, you might not get fired, but your check gonna be an hour short. There's a penalty for that. You left an hour early, you short bread. Y'all don't penalize these chicks in any type of way. No whippings, no timeouts, no taking of the allowance. Y'all kind of support terrorism, bro. So anyway, that's that with that. I'm gonna read this off real quick. Now I'm be up out of here because y'all niggas ain't pay no daycare fees, no way. But what is severance pay? Severance pay is the compensation and/or benefits an employer provides the employee. Let me see if I can make this bigger. A little bit bigger. Severance is the compensation or benefits an employer provides to an employee after the employment is over. Alimony, really, basically, when you think about it. Severance packages may include extended benefits such as health insurance and outplacement assistance to help employee with a new position. Right? Employees offer packages to employees who are laid off, whose jobs are eliminated because of downsizing, or who retire. Some employees who resign and or are fired may also receive a severance package, right? Or, and this is most of the time, severance is a goodwill gesture on the part of the employer and can provide the employee with a buffer between working and unemployment. I want to show you guys one of the times that you don't have to pay severance. Where is it at? Unless a contract, here you go, right here, the second one. Unless a contract or employee handbooks requires it, employers are not legally required to pay severance. But that's not it. There is something that says that if employee doesn't provide the services that they're supposed to in their position, they can be terminated without severance. Now, in order to prove that, that's when we go back to the video when she was talking about if there's a discrepancy, right? And you take that to arbitration and you use the app, then you can actually show it like, look, this bitch ain't sucked dick in fucking 6 weeks, nigga. I didn't come home to cold pots every day. Goddamn it, man, the kid got cholera. Goddamn it, man, she ain't changing no diapers. This bitch ain't doing shit. I shouldn't have to pay severance for a bogus bitch. And then the arbiter will decide whether or not it's fair or not, right? But you got both you guys to argue your points, and the arbiter will, go on that thing, right? Because you have a corporate tribal marriage fucking with us. Well, actually, yeah, it is. It's an Octos marriage. But anyway, she don't know shit about the Octos. Just roll with me on it. This is also another important part. As part of a severance pay, employees are not allowed to sue the company for any damages. The reason I'm highlighting that, and it's very important for you guys to understand, that when you have a corporate marriage, because all marriages are corporate, but some are state sanctioned, some are privately sanctioned, right? Just like you go to public school, that's state funded, but you can also go to private school. There's no problem with that. You can get a private marriage just like you get a state sanctioned marriage. It's not illegal to do so. You know what I'm saying? So you give a severance package, she can't go back to the state and be like,
11 years I sacrificed. You can leave me at the drop of a dime.
she can't go back to the state and say that because she has already been compensated. There's a lot of guys, and I did a show about that. I lost a lot of good ass shows, man. That's fucked up. But you get somebody like Eddie Curry who paid over 1.5 million to his baby mama out the pocket though, like just taking care of her, just for the kid to turn 17, and she turned around, went to court and said,
He ain't paid nothing in 12 years.
and then the state made him pay a whole nother $2 million because he kept showing receipts talking about, man, I gave her 1.5 or 1.2 or whatever it was, and he's showing receipts, and the judge was like, shit, those were gifts, my nigga. You ain't come to us, those were gifts. So he had to pay another 1.5. Since he did it himself, he didn't go through arbitration because the judge in that particular case is the arbiter. He didn't have a private, all that fucking money these niggas spend, they don't never spend on no private arbiter. That's crazy now that I think about it. But she can't double back because he'd be like, yo, This was the agreement. You know what I'm saying? She went through this, and she said she wanted to leave at the end of her tenure. And there's another thing about tenures and terms. You can mix tenures with terms because, you know what I'm saying, and still turn around and say, okay, shorty, we have to have a renewal process. There is no, here's something. Marriage licenses are the only licenses that the state doesn't require you to renew. You even have to renew your fishing license, nigga. There is no license that you have that you don't have to renew except a marriage license. And that's because that's based on the state, right? Because the state's job is to extract as much money they can out of man to give it to women so women can fuck up America, right? That's their job. Their job is to make sure that you stay broke and she keeps money so she can, because girls can't count, so she gonna spend all that money on purses with no money to put in the purse. And that's how America maintains their grip on slavery, right? You cannot marry your girl and they'll charge you for palimony or fucking common law wife or all type of goofy ass shit. Because their job is to extract your resources and use women to do it. These bitches are really the ops. Y'all keep skipping a step. Be like, oh, she couldn't do it if the government didn't. Yes, okay, cool. But it still went through her, nigga. So she is the definitive ops. Definitive fucking ops. That's like me as a Bears fan saying Green Bay couldn't beat us if the NFL didn't make them a team. That's true too, motherfucker. But the immediate op right now, nigga, is Green Bay. Y'all always skip a step because y'all don't want to blame a bitch for shit. When the truth of the matter is, y'all like to be a lot better if y'all just join corporate and let corporate stop these hoes.
My congeniality is fucked. I have no sensors and I need to be stopped.
So anyway, man, on that note, man, I'm out. So love each other as you love yourself. Feed the pack. Tribe up.
Chill. You're one of the top 6 speakers of the past 8 years, but I hated you at first. Could you please mention the Dirty Folks podcast? Thank you, Lord Charles. Dirty Folks.
And see, I find it to be hilarious because even if I did behave like a teenager, I would be ahead of a lot of these B-dubs that want to make these comments because a lot of you behave like toddlers. Shout out to my man, Dirty Folk.
And it's because y'all niggas don't support. Y'all do support. Y'all support titties and pussy. Hey, shout out to Dirty Folk.
Men have sort of quietly begun to agree that even the most like off the wall extreme advice or takes that you get from some random guy on the internet is more useful than anything allegedly profound that you would hear from a trained black female professional. All right, let's take a perfect example of this, right? The idea of Dirty Folks when he come up and he says like women with clothes on, that is a way more useful notion to frame your mental state around than anything your black female therapist would ever tell you. Because she's a woman with clothes on. Why the fuck would you listen to her? Like, when he says that, it makes sense in a way that it just appeals to you. And it's something that your black female therapist could never match.
Yo, Travis, the daycare is too influential to be so small. We big on you, baby. Like, sub, share, clip. I know I got at least 10 bars to change somebody's life. Help me to help my brother. Love each other as you love yourself.